Welcome to the Canadian Tile Pros YouTube channel, guys. My name is Saul, and we're going to talk about the deep abrasion when it comes to tile, and lots of great information for you in this episode, so stick around. All right, so let's talk about this scale that you may have heard about before. It's called the Mohs Hardness Scale, and basically what the scale is a way to measure the likelihood of a tile to be scratched. And something very important that a lot of consumers are concerned about is this tile is going to get scratched over time. What's the difference between this tile and this tile when it comes to scratch resistance? So we're going to talk about that today, and because there is a scale that tells you how these tiles are rated for when it comes to abrasion resistance. So that's really the importance of this. Basically, this scale, it was basically put together by a gentleman named Friedrich Mohs. And he was a German mineralogist, and he developed this in 1812. And what basically he did was he took a set of 10 minerals and he gave them a value in terms of their hardness. And what this test basically does is it uses these 10 minerals that we know what their hardness is and gives them a value between 1 and 10. And how it works is that each mineral in this scale cannot scratch the mineral that's above it. So for instance, a mineral that's rated 4 on that scale can scratch the mineral that's rated 3, but it cannot scratch a mineral that's rated as 5. So this is how this kind of scale works. And the minerals he uses, I'm not a mineralogist, so I'm just going to read out what these minerals are here. They're talco mica, that's what it starts with. That's on the scale of 1. We got gypsum at scale 2, calcite 3, fluorite is 4, apatite is 5, orthoclast is 6, quartz is 7, topaz is 8, corundum is 9, and diamond is 10. And so the important thing is that each of these minerals, basically the manufacturers uses them as a way of determining what the Mohs scale is for the tile that they manufactured. And what they do is they'll go through the entire list of these minerals, starting from 1, working their way up to 10, and they'll scratch the tile. And the mineral that ends up scratching that tile is the mineral that the rating that this particular tile gets. So it's hard to understand this unless we put this into perspective. So let's talk about what this scale means in real life settings. So for instance, the human fingernail is rated as a 2.5 on the scale. Okay, so if you think about it, it would be equivalent to somewhere between gypsum and calcite for a human fingernail. Gold or silver would be rated as a 3. Copper penny, we don't have that here in Canada anymore, but if we did, it would be considered a 3.5. An iron nail, so like something made of iron as a nail, is considered a 4. And window glass, like a piece of glass, would be considered a 5.5. And aluminum and abrasive, some piece of aluminum that might have like the abrasive features to it, would be considered an 8. And so that's sort of how like real life items kind of scale on or relate to this particular scale. And when you think about the environment that you're going to have, are you going to be exposed to in any of these things that are in an environment that might end up scratching, or anything similar to it that might end up scratching your tile. So that's important to know. When we look at, for instance, let's say glazed ceramic tile would be around 5 to 6 when it comes to the abrasive resistance of these tiles. So on the scale from 5 to 6. So basically, from the mineral point of view, is apatite and orthoclast. But in the kind of real life setting, you can say that an aluminum abrasive would definitely scratch these tiles, but an iron nail would not necessarily scratch these tiles. Okay. As we get into the porcelain tiles, because porcelain is manufactured very differently, is a lot more dense, so you're going to get a much higher value. So in this case, glazed porcelain tiles would receive a value of 7 on this scale. and but an unglazed porcelain tile would receive a value of 8, because again the glaze on that tile is a little more prone to scratches than an unglazed porcelain tile. So when you are putting the tile in your home or in a commercial setting, make sure you consider the type, the environment that is going to be exposed to that tile, the kinds of things that are going to be coming in and out of that tile through traffic, and I think the best bet is to go for the best abrasive resistance on those tiles, given the design that you're also considering as well. You know, obviously floors and walls are in a different scenario, and you would never put a ceramic tile on a floor. Those are meant for walls as well, so that's also a factor as well. So that's sort of what I want to talk about in terms of abrasive resistance. I do have another video on abrasiveness resistance on another scale, which is considered the PEI scale, and that relates more for glazed tiles, and I'll put the link up so you guys can check that video out as well. But thanks for stopping by. I hope you learned something from this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks again for watching this video. You know, my goal is to help all Canadians learn about tile and tile installations, so everyone can benefit from all this information that's available to us. So if you like this information, please show your support and hit that subscribe button and the like button, and we'll see you in the next video.